If you've never heard the term pipeline, it's basically a way of managing a bunch of potential customers. So we've got details about the customers, how much they might buy from us, and the probability they're going to buy. You could manage this in a big complicated customer relationship management software package, or you could just use a simple spreadsheet. Most people start simple. In this example, we're going to fill out a Google spreadsheet, and it's in the resources below.
So the purpose of doing the pipeline is that you're creating a process and a framework to operate within. One of the benefits of preparing a list of people to speak to is that you can then analyze that list to identify who would be the people that would be the best people to speak to. You may have 50 people on your list, but maybe the top 5 are the people who would most benefit from the product or service that you've created. At the end of the day, sales is about activity. I think of it like doing push-ups. Push-ups makes you stronger, it builds your resilience, and it also gets you closer to finding someone that you can help. So for a really simple pipeline spreadsheet, think about 5 columns. The first is the name. The second is the relationship you have to that person. The third is their contact details. And the fourth and fifth are really about a probability weighting. So the probability is about determining whether someone will actually buy from you. The amount column is your estimate of how much that you think that they could buy from you. When you multiply the probability times the amount, that gives you the weighted probability. We have a note column in our column, and we use the note column for any information that doesn't necessarily fit into one of those other columns. Just put everyone in. Don't start filtering and saying this person isn't right for this reason or that reason. Think big and then refine later. Start with the contacts in your phone. Go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, any sort of social media, any sort of relationship platform that you use. You can put in a company, and if you don't have a person, that's your job to do some hustle to find out a person within that company. And so what I would do in that instance is look through my list and try and identify, is there someone who could introduce me to someone in that company? I think the value of a pipeline is more information the better. So if there's a couple of anchor points into a company, put them both into the pipeline. People who you've sold to are a really great addition to your pipeline because obviously they know you and they've trusted you enough to buy from you in the past. Yeah, there are a number of factors that go into a probability. The first is, has the person actually bought this product or service in the past? Are they in the market looking for this product or service that you've created? Have they actually said to you before that there's a really big problem that they want a solution for that they haven't been able to find?
Some people like to use percentages to represent stages in the sales process. So I've never met the person is 0%. I've met the person, 25%. I've met them and they're interested, 50. I've met them, they're interested and they've trialed it, 75. They've bought it, 100%. Brutal, efficient entrepreneurs will often just go by like gut feel. Sales are 10% or 90%. People are either in or out. One thing that can be cool is just find somebody who's more experienced than you at selling a thing like you sell and ask them what they use.
Yeah, the amount column is your estimate of how much that you think that they could buy from you. The better evidence is if you can actually ask them, what they would actually buy from you. So that's the best data you can put in that column. When you multiply the probability times the amount, that gives you the weighted probability. Don't get hung up on a perfect probability weighting. A high, medium, and low rating can work really well. What you're trying to achieve here is simply an area for you to focus on.
But don't let this weighting and numbers and probability dehumanize the process, right? You can get too mechanistic if you're thinking about people as lines on a spreadsheet, like targets.
Once you filled out your Google Doc, with all the people who potentially could benefit from the solution, the next thing to do is simply just to sort it. So Google Docs got an easy function, click sort, and there you go. Time to focus on the high likelihood of success people. High in terms of, that they're likely to purchase, but also high in terms of amount. That's the best place for you to spend your time and energy.
One of the great things about sorting by weighted is you'll often find that the stuff that bubbles up to the top is the big deals with people you don't know too well that scare the crap out of you. The real growth comes from stepping as far out of your comfort zone as possible. And that means talking to people who are more likely to benefit from your solution, but there's also a bigger risk of them saying no. So say you've only got 10 people on your list, okay? And that's because you're really struggling to find people that you think would benefit from this solution. At the end of the meeting, when you meet those 10 people, just ask them, is there someone that they think could benefit from what you're talking to them about? And all of a sudden you've gone from 10 to 20 people. The key is just start somewhere. If you've only got 10, start with 10. If you've got 20, go with 20. If you've got 50, so be it. But just start. Phone may feel old-fashioned, but it is the most intimate way of contacting someone. So if someone gives you their phone number, that's an indication of trust because they're more likely to give out their email address than they are their phone number. Now here's the thing, Will's really excited about phone numbers because that's the way that he speaks to most of his customers and people within his networks. They're all investors, right? But what if the people you speak to aren't phone number people? So think about using whatever method suits your customers. It might be their Instagram, it might be their email. For some, it'll be their phone number. Developing a pipeline can help you focus on your objective for a specific product or service now. But really what we're doing here is cultivating relationships over decades. So maybe someone isn't interested in your product or service today, but that person could benefit from a relationship over time because you may move from one career to the next. You may come up with a new idea in the future. It's great to maintain that pipeline, continue giving to the pipeline because you never know when someone may actually buy from you.